Hey, it's Rob Weinberg, and on this channel, we empower people to take control of their future through expert mortgage, financial, and real estate strategies. If it's your first time here, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to get notified on all the new content we're putting out every single week. In our whiteboard lesson today, we're going to talk about what credit score do I need to buy a home. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and there's a lot of myths about what credit score is actually required to buy a home today. So in this lesson, I want to dispel the myths and show you the real information right from the mortgage guidelines. So the most common loan is a conventional mortgage. This is going to be a mortgage that's backed by either Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. And with a conventional mortgage, there is a specific minimum credit score in writing, which is a 620 middle credit score. Now, before we go on, I want to just make sure that we are on the same page and understanding that mortgage companies are going to use a specific mortgage FICO score that's going to be different from Credit Karma, Credit Sesame, or that fake credit score you get from your bank every month or your credit card company. So make sure that you're using and looking at the actual mortgage FICO score, either discussed directly with a lender, or you can get your mortgage score directly from myfico.com, M-Y-F-I-C-O, myfico.com. That's the only website that I know of that allows you as a consumer to get your actual mortgage credit score. Yes, there's a small cost, but it's well worth it. So again, conventional minimum 620 credit score. So if you're a 618 and you go try to get a conventional mortgage, you're automatically not going to get that loan. There's that minimum, that floor. So that's conventional. Now, VA and FHA are the best loan program and the most used loan program for people with lower credit, because there isn't necessarily a specific minimum credit score. I've seen and heard of VA and FHA loans approved anywhere between a 500 and a 580 minimum credit score. Personally, I see a lot more in this 580, maybe even the 600 range, but I have heard of many circumstances where VA loans and FHA can get approved down to a 500. Now, if you're in that lower echelon, what's going to allow you to get a loan approved with that low of a credit score? There's some specific things that you want to look at. Compensating factors. These are going to be additional factors to help strengthen your loan application when your credit is low. Some examples of compensating factors are going to be a bigger down payment. 10% down or more works great. A low debt to income ratio. Also, they want to see that you've got minimal late payments or no late payments in the last 12 months. That's going to be almost impossible when your credit score is that low, but you want to have good explanations for what happened that caused those late payments and derogatories and what's happening moving forward that will make sure that you're not going to have any significant derogatories in the future. Now, USDA is a really popular loan program because of the fact that it allows no money down, but USDA does also have a higher credit score requirement and lower debt to income ratio. So on USDA, minimum credit score is generally going to be that 640 or higher. Now, as we start to get into some of these more obscure loan products, you'll see that there's more flexibility with some of these credit scores. So on NonQM, these are non-qualified mortgages. A lot of the people taking these loans are real estate investors, self-employed entrepreneurs, or people that just generally show not a lot of money on paper. They use these non-QM or non-qualified mortgages. Now, these don't go as low as some of the government-backed loans, but they do allow a pretty low score, anywhere from 620 to 640 minimum FICO score on these loans. Just depends on the underwriter of the loan and who's actually going to do the servicing of the loan on which credit score requirement they have. But if you're lower than 620 on non-QM, it's pretty much impossible. That leads us to the hard money loan and private money lending. Now, when you're not able to get approved through some of these other methods, these more regular mortgages like conventional and government-backed loans, you're going to need to turn to these hard money loans and private money loans. Now, these are generally going to be like private individuals or hedge funds that make loans that are higher risk. You're going to need a lot more equity. These are much higher interest loans, but because of that, there's no minimum credit score requirement. I've heard of people getting these hard money and private money loans, pretty much no credit. I've even heard of people with like 400s in the credit score, that sort of thing. These are not going to be realistic solutions if you're looking to buy your first home. These are not going to be realistic solutions even if you're looking to buy your second home. And the reason why they're not realistic is because a hard money loan or private money requires significant amount of equity. And because most first or second time buyers are not coming to the table with 30% or 50% down, these programs won't work. The other thing is occupancy. Hard money loans and private money loans generally are going to be reserved for investment property or business purpose property. Okay, so if you're living in the house, hard money or private money generally won't be allowed. That's just part of the guidelines for that program. So you don't need as high of a credit score as you thought in order to buy a home. It's just a matter of getting with a knowledgeable local mortgage advisor, hopefully a mortgage broker that can really go out into the market and look at all the avenues of where you can get a loan and then best fit you to the loan product, as well as help you get the best price, the best execution on that specific loan program. So I hope that you found value in our whiteboard lesson today about what credit score you need to buy a home. If someone else you know is looking to buy a home or get more information on this topic, I do offer personal one-on-one consultations. You can reach me by call, text, or private message. My direct line is 860-413-3938. As always, I hope that helps, and we'll see you next time.